your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game tape.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Ace Man, back up in the house. We've returned from the party on the land behind the van.
Yeah.
Those are the good old days, man.
Yeah. That was great fun at the Wiltern, by the way, last weekend. I had a great time.
It was tremendous, and I got to tell you, I felt bad that I did 15 minutes, but I opened for you at the Wiltern, but my thing was obsessively not doing 1 second over the allotted time because you never want to be that guy. So
yeah, no, you don't want to be that guy.
But then I tap out early, and it's like, wow, I just took a check, and I shaved 10 minutes off my time.
No. People don't realize how flexible I am in when it comes to things. Like, I don't give a shit whether I do an hour or an hour and 25 minutes. Like when I did it, I've never done... I don't have the traditional stand-up background that you guys all have, where you middle or you open or you headline or you travel, you go on the road. I just have this weird thing where I did a couple of open mics. It never really worked out, and then I took 15 years off, and then the next thing you know, I was out of a job, out of a gig, out of everything, and someone said, like Mike August said, the Irvine Improv wants you to come out and do stand-up. And I was like, I don't really do any stand-up. So then every show just began with 45 minutes of what can Adam complain about. For the first year, I went on the road, and my act was at least the first half hour would just be like shout out stuff from the audience. But then when I got into theaters, it didn't really work as well, the shouting out in the audience. But I don't have any hard, fast rules. But it was funny. The only time I ever did one of these was with Dennis Miller. And I said, I figure I'll go first, and I'll do half an hour, and then you'll go second, you'll do half an hour, and then we'll both come out, and we'll do a half hour like Q&A. And he showed up, and he went like, you do 25, and I'll do 25. Yeah. And I was like,
let's
what?
Stick it to the man. It's 10 minutes we put in our pocket.
That's
good.
Like, I don't even know the difference.
With Adrian Zamet, he's telling me Carolla's the hoofer. But
I don't know the difference between 25 minutes and half an hour. And
what was his reasoning? Chip, chip, chip.
I think if you think about being a guy who does this and does it like every weekend, and you
was this a corporate gig? Why were you and Dennis Miller on the same bill? For 25 minutes.
It's a Mike August thing. We were at the Anaheim Grove or something.
I don't mean to go on a rant here, but Twyla Tharp's got some kabuki business.
I'll tell you what. I had the same thing. I had the same thing when we did 5 shows at Caroline's, and I like.
Who's we?
Sorry, we meaning 5 live podcasts.
Okay,
at
the Adam Carolla experience.
Yes. And I realized I was flying in Thursday, doing a show Thursday night, and then I was going to do like morning radio and 2 shows that night, and then more morning radio and 2 shows. Yeah. And those live shows, that's 90 minutes of me talking and then sweating through a shirt and then going right back out and doing it again. And I just said to everyone, we don't need to do full 90 minutes. We'll do an hour and 20 minutes, and times 5, that'll be like a 6 show.
Yeah.
Like, it'll add up over the course of 5 shows. I think Dennis has figured out, that's 5 minutes, babe. That was my Dennis Miller.
Gotta love the fact that Jack Ruby got into the garage that day. Hey, boss, the guy that owns the local titty bars here, he's got a handgun. Should we let him in? Yeah. Who the fuck was... When I went to bed, Mondale... What was it? When I went to bed, Reagan had 400 electoral votes. Mondale had 3. That's 3 more than I got. I didn't fucking run. This guy spent $400 million. Miller almost tied him. One of my all-time favorite comedians that ever lived.
Miller.
The Off-White album is
he's
just massaging words to go where you want them to go.
He's-
And the album, to interrupt you, the album that let me know it's okay once in a while that only 20% of the room is down. Like
Yeah.
when I bust out Keitel, that's what's great about the podcast. Now we do the Wiltern Theater together. People are like, dude, Keitel, like we've all drank this Kool-Aid for a year. Now we're
Right.
waiting. But prior to having a podcast, stand-up, I go through, I do Reservoir Dogs, like I'll do 4 minutes, and 80% of the audience is like, is he having a stroke? He's a good kid. It's my fault he got shot in the gush. Joe, I don't know what you think you know. You're wrong.
I love
And it was like,
that
I don't know what's
goddamn movie.
happening. However, 20% of the crowd is like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And I learned that from Dennis Miller's Off-White album.
Well, he's like I pay him the best compliment I can pay another comedian, which is, everyone does that thing where they go, who inspired you to get into comedy? And I go, not Dennis Miller. Because when I would watch those Dennis Miller specials, when I was sitting on my sofa and swinging a hammer and renting a house in La Crescenta with 3 other dudes, and I would see him go up there and just rat-a-tat-tat out all that shit, I'd be running for my thesaurus. I thought, well, I certainly can't do that. As a young guy, I could see Doug Benson do his act and go, I think I could do that. But I couldn't see Dennis Miller do his act and
Don't
go.
fucking tweet Doug Benson that anybody said anything bad about him, you pussies. It's a
No,
fucking
it's-
pragmatic conversation. Doug Benson's more.
I like Doug Benson,
No,
but
I
it
know,
seemed-
but you got to jump on these fucking people to be like,
Okay.
they're talking shit about you.
No, it seemed like that seemed doable. What Dennis Miller was doing didn't seem doable to me. I didn't even know half the words he was saying.
The phaser always seemed a little limited as a weapon on Star Trek. 2 settings, one for kill, the other for stun. I always thought there should have been a third option, maybe melancholy. Bzzzt. Oh, Christ, Jim, what are we doing with our lives? I need a day job, Pep.
I love that guy. Well, anyway, so you...
Fundanything.com.
Oh, yeah,
Make sure you go to fundanything.com and kick some shekels in. If you've ever been to a ballpark and bought a hot dog and paid admission, you help pay for that ballpark. Adam Carolla's making a movie, Road Hard. I'm going to be in it. I'm playing Baby Doll Dixon, basically.
No.
I'm playing something.
You got a good part.
My wife was like, I wish I played his wife. She's like, curses in our home that she's not...
too young and too beautiful. Sadly.
Well, let her down easy because she don't see herself.
You can't let someone down much easier than too young, too beautiful, unless something like your pussy doesn't smell enough. Like what? I don't know what is the third option.
Pussy, P-I-E or E-Y or just Y?
I think it's just Y.
Pussy,
but I don't
yeah.
know what the third option for letting you down.
Melancholy.
Letting a gal down.
Fundanything.com. And I can't emphasize this enough. This is our way of shoving it up Hollywood's rear end. And
Yes.
that is, every movie's a big gloppy pile of shit with CGI and all that. If that's your thing, that's cool. And, I never saw those, Spider-Man movies. Those Spider-Man movies, I never saw them.
Right.
And I was in a hotel room, and it came on, and I watched 5 minutes, and it turned into about 45 minutes because I couldn't believe the amount of, computer-generated bullshit.
Yes.
I was like, this is the fucking franchise?
Yep.
Like, Tobey Maguire, world's dullest man, never has to work again because of this fucking flying around shit?
Yeah.
And then, I like Ice Storm. I like movies where you talk. Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
That man could have did 5 years and said my daddy's name and walked, but he didn't. He did his time like a fucking man. You're going to tell me he's going to decide out of the fucking blue to rip us off?
Anyway, so this is our way, Carolla's way, my way, because we are a fucking team. We're united now. We are the fucking 1992 New York Giants. Mm-hmm. I'm Pepper Johnson. You're LT, railed out on coke. This is your way of shoving it up Hollywood's ass. Well, real quick, anybody that's ever paid to go to a theater on Broadway,
hold on. I think myself is more Harry Carson.
Yeah, you know what? You are Harry Carson.
Thank you.
Because
Go
you're
ahead.
truculent with the media.
Thank you.
And they'll make you wait to get into the Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
You shove it up everybody's ass. And you fundanything.com, you can put money into this movie, see the movie, and know you did something. And don't let anybody tilt this like making people pay. You pay for your own movie. No, we are. This is how it goes. And if you've ever paid to go to a ballpark or the theater or your local movie theater that got rejuvenated or your local park where your kid goes down a bullshit slide and there's kids breaking bottles and smoking joints, you paid for that too. Pay for something.
Thank you.
You can fire up a heater and just watch a movie. Fundanything.com. Go.
There's a third Cranston, Bryan Cranston video. If people,
My wife would
I
like-
caught half a boob.
No, that's not a half. Go ahead.
No, I didn't.
Here you go.
I can't look.
She's doing it for you.
Wow, thank you.
Now she's really pissed off.
Wow, I love that.
My
Thank
wife
you.
giving double barrels.
I didn't
to
know she was
Carolla.
here.
Yeah, she snuck in. She was underneath Gary's desk.
Now I lost my train of thought.
My wife just flashed Carolla. Oh,
what
it's
the
a
hell?
flash
Where's
party.
Gary?
I don't mind Carolla seeing my wife's tits, but the
Gary,
fact that
come on.
Gary's getting side tit bothers me immensely.
Well,
What the fuck? She's on a flash
he
party.
gets side tit from my assistant Matt all day.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
They sit next to each other. on the sofa.
September 19th, I'm at Stand Up Live in Arizona. Come see me. Carolla.
I'm coming. All right, so there's three Bryan Cranston videos that
You
if
keep
you
pushing
like
these Cranston
Breaking
videos.
Bad, you should watch. I
Why
think
do you
would
push
enjoy
those? Well, like, let's cut out. Now I think Cranston is a middleman, and he's a hiccup on the way. I think
We don't
that's,
need him.
I think
Screw
that's
him.
something recreationally they can look
Yes.
at on their own dime.
Sure.
But I think more importantly, the message is go to fundanything.com
Yes,
and let's
it is.
build the perfect beast on
Yeah,
Henley
no, but
style.
for some people are like that brings them into the tent. You know, they're fans of Breaking Bad. They want to see this. They see the video.
and where is that video up?
But let's get back to you for a second.
Well, real quick, where's the video of Bryan Cranston? If we're
You
gonna
see
talk
it at
about
Fund Anything.
Oh,
You can see it
okay.
on YouTube or wherever you want. You at the Will Turn, that was rock and roll. Like for me, normally the stand-up's kind of the stand-up. That felt like a rock show, and it was fun that way.
Let's do more.
Like it was fun. I want to do more. Like the crowd was raucous. It was like a fun, big, felt like rock and roll. And Jay was just, it's so great working with a guy who's been on his feet for as long as you've been on your feet because you can just, I watched your whole set. I walked around to the other side of the stage because I didn't want to be with the group of people that wanted to go upstairs and watch you and then have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know those people? They're
Yeah.
like the managers and the agents and the friends and the family and the guy who does the booking and the blah, blah, blah. And they go, oh, Jay's going on. So they all get up and go from the green room upstairs, and then they stand in the wings.
And you wind up talking about the Chargers during
Then
the
they
set.
turn their back to him, and it's like, they should have never let Breeze go. That was a huge mistake. Why would you let Breeze go? He's not like he was Ryan Leaf, and it's like you're like going, why the fuck did we come upstairs to have a conversation about the Chargers when Jay's on stage? So I walked around to the other side,
which is the ultimate compliment in show business. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
and you're
I wanted
like, I need to watch this alone.
I wanted to watch alone, and so I walked around to the other side, and first thing I noticed was the guy who was running the board was just sitting there laughing, and I was like, these guys are pretty hard, They're not like you never see
Stage
them
hands.
sort of participating, And then I went, oh, he's laughing, and then I looked up, and there was something on TV, and I was like, is this guy laughing at the TV? And I couldn't see the way they had the curtain position, and I sort of peeked around and saw that he was watching you and just sitting at his board enjoying his act and laughing out loud. So, and then when I talked to Mike August, Mike's like, oh, we're doing an intermission. So I should have told you. That was on the way to the theater. So, he's such I have to have these condescending conversations with Mike where he goes, yeah, we're doing an intermission because they want to sell Mangria. And I'm like, all right, but Mike, you do understand that we do, 70 of these shows a year, and in 96% of them, they don't do an intermission. So if they are going to do an intermission, you need to tell me so I can plan it. So I said to Jay, don't do half an hour. Do 25 minutes. And by the way, to a lot of guys, a half hour means 49 minutes.
I don't want to be that guy.
Right. Well, you weren't.
Yeah, I sure was not.
But you did a kick-ass 15 minutes, and then I was like, all right, I had more time than I needed anyway. I cut my shit down anyway, so I was
how
like...
Bill Simmons cut out on us Everyone spoke that Bill Simmons left. They were acting like he had a JetBlue flight out of Long Beach. And they're like, he had to go. I'm like, where's he going? They go, oh, he had to go back to Malibu. I'm like, no, that's not like I got to go. Like,
no, he didn't have to go back to Malibu.
I got a 10:15 flight, but it's in Long Beach because it's JetBlue because I got a deal on a ticket. Like, he cut out. Like, he was like, I did my part. I'm out of here.
Yeah, that was Bill. That's how Bill is.
With his Navy mustache.
He did have a nice mustache, I got to say.
Like Martin Sheen should be kicking his head around at the feet of Marlon Brando.
Wow.
He looked like Chef from Apocalypse Now.
Yeah, also had
Never get out of the fucking boat, man.
He also had a look he had a Last Detail look too. If you want to go for weird movie references
Very nice.
that are never brought up.
Ace, man, I got to talk about GoDaddy. You're familiar with our friends at GoDaddy.
Oh yeah.
You get your own domain name, my friends. You could do anything. You could start a website, tap dancing school, security service. You could do security in your neighborhood. You go to GoDaddy.com. It's cool. I'm going to ask the fans of this podcast, More Stories. That's what you're listening to. Oh, okay. Why do you need a domain name to start a website? You have to. Online business, all the things. Maybe you're having a wedding. You could have a website for your wedding. Hey, Mark and Tina are getting married. What's up? Own your own piece of 20%. You do. It's good, right? Mm-hmm. Mark and Tina got married. That was the off Broadway version. Get your own piece of 21st century real estate. GoDaddy.com. Listen to me. GoDaddy.com. We're going to have a little contest. You guys come up with the funniest domain names that are germane, that means having to do with this show. It could be MaddieHasOneLung.com. It could be put your name on it, all the things. Any inside reference from the More Stories podcast. Go to GoDaddy.com, create a domain name. You don't even have to put up a website, I don't think. And top 3, I'm mailing you a T-shirt, and I'll sign something for you. Right now, GoDaddy.com, offering More Stories listeners a great new special offer. For the most popular .com domain name. Enter the promo code STORIES. The promo codes are always weird. Yeah. It should just be fucking Mohr every time. Yeah. My last name, it should be Carolla or Adam every time.
Yeah.
This one, STORIES, STORIES. Promo code STORIES at checkout at GoDaddy.com to redeem your new or transfer.com for only $2.49. $2.49 for the first year of registration. Click on the GoDaddy banner at jmohr.com. That might be a super easy way to go about it. Just go to jmohr.com and click the GoDaddy banner, or go to fakemustache.com, which includes an awesome new express purchase feature, very time-saving. There are some limitations that apply that take way too long to describe, and I don't want to take more time from the Ace Man. See jmohr.com or GoDaddy.com for details. Enter STORIES, STORIES, as in More Stories. Make this fun. Top 3, well, we're going to pick the funniest ones. It ain't going to be random. You got to earn it, and I'll send you a shirt for all your work. You
really?
Sons of bitches. You win a shirt.
Yeah.
Yippee. Second prize, 2 shirts. What do you think about that? Third prize, 6 shirts. I come to your house. I suck your dick.
What?
Suck your dick straight up. Not all the way. Just for like 1 minute.
But how do you know that's 30 seconds more than I need?
I don't.
Yeah, that's the
Why
thing.
are you assuming you have third place in this contest, GoDaddy.com?
Oh, is that third place?
That's third place. See, I go the other way with it. The worse you get, the more prizes. First prize, 1 T-shirt, a Warrior T-shirt, More Stories T-shirt. Second prize, 2 T-shirts. Third prize, 6 T-shirts, and I suck your dick.
Oh, okay.
See what I mean? That's how I go about it.
I could place and not get my dick sucked.
Correct.
Okay.
But you're acting like you don't. All right, what can't Adam complain about? Blowjobs.
All right. I've said that we have ruined the blowjob. Guys have ruined the blowjob because we've been obsessed with this, like, do you swallow? There's a swallow thing.
I do, yes.
Do you swallow?
Oh,
do you swallow?
Sorry.
Yeah. Do you swallow? Do you swallow? Do you swallow? We should modify do you swallow to do you transport.
Beep, beep,
right.
beep,
just back up, head for the potted plant. Right. There's a ficus right there with a wicker basket around it. The point is, chicks. No, because what dumb dudes did is we went too high up with the we need you to swallow. It's like, I don't need you to swallow. I just need you not to stop until I'm done. and then you could bring it on into the bathroom.
Spit it out.
Yes, you
But doesn't that
transport it.
more work to transport it because it's in your mouth longer? It seems like it'd be a lot easier to just swallow it down and forget like it ever happened, like
Well,
a creepy uncle.
Think. Let's look at it this way. You ever standing by the fridge and you get a shot of bad milk?
Yeah.
You don't go, well, fuck it. This one's on me. I'll just swallow it.
How do you know?
You walk over to the sink and you spit it out.
That's why you get soy milk. That shit lasts forever.
Either way, you get a bad batch of soy milk. You don't go, well,
batch of jism milk, honey. That's his Dennis Miller talk. Dial it back to the 21st century. Aggie.
you walk it
Banana
over.
juice.
You walk into the sink and you spit it out. So I'm just saying, we have, the swallow thing is like it's a bridge too far. It really
I don't think it is. I think it's a very reasonable request.
Now, you know what I think? I think a lot of
You're not
guys.
even complaining about a blowjob. This is like you're circumventing what can't Adam complain
a
about.
lot of guys. No, look. It's hard to complain about a blowjob. I think blowjobs have been decreased by us putting a "Do you love me" kind of aspect to it.
Come in.
You know
Don't
what I mean?
talk shit. Come in
This
here.
is-
My wife says you're full of shit. She's
This
talking
is-
me through the glass. I'm like, don't talk shit from there. Fucking
This
break
is-
it down, Nicole Avery Cox.
I have a thought. I have an anal related thought. That
Whoa, anal blowjob thought?
No,
How do
no,
you
not the-
blow?
not-
You're saying he's completely wrong about
not
something?
the oral
this.
fecal path. That we talk
Wrong.
about.
How is he wrong about this?
In terms of the transportation of it all?
I don't know. You were waving through the glass like he's fucking wrong. Big thumbs down.
Well, yeah. You like if you take a glug of sour milk, if you will, and fucking man up.
Well, no.
Swallow the milk and
First off,
fucking-
I don't want to hear "man up" when I'm getting blown.
I'm talking about myself here.
No, I appreciate it.
I man up, and I and,
Well, listen.
And also, you're assuming that the gal who's on the receiving end is like doing you a favor, and if she's not into it, perhaps
I always
she
assume
enjoys it as a special treat.
All right. Well, hold on a second.
In which case,
you
it's not like.
you have the pioneer spirit.
Sacagawea Cox.
You have the can goo spirit.
Suckagawea.
Essentially, a penisless man.
I like that. No, that's good because a lot of women don't have that.
I'm a pioneer. I'm a pioneer man. I am.
Yeah, no, I like that. But
And thank you for noticing that
a lot
about
of
me,
women
the
are a
first.
little bit freaky about that stuff. You know what I mean? They're
You know what? A lot of women really just kind of suck. And
Yeah.
I don't mean dick.
no. I know
They're
they
just kind of bullshit.
they get uptight. They're like uptight about it.
They're creepy.
Yeah.
They're really creepy.
All right, that's
Yeah.
enough.
Right. And so
You guys
the
get
point,
a little yeah, right? We have so much in common.
The
You have
point
a
is
van?
the
Do you have any land
transport-
behind the van?
My husband is fearful that I'm becoming you.
Yeah, I've told him that.
I lay there at night, like rub my eyes when I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase something, and he goes, and he said it's because I said you don't want to be distracted, and he goes, that's what Adam said. So apparently I'm becoming you soon.
So you're saying women should stop with this transport business and the spitting it out and just glug it and be done with it, and if not, they got no business calling themselves card-carrying women.
I think they should. Yeah, pretty much. They should just turn in their cards. Yeah, they should quit. They should just quit.
Really?
Don't do the
All right.
crime if you can't do the time.
All right, but
I'll talk.
Okay, Sammy.
I'll see you in the car later.
we won't see you in the car.
No, yeah, maybe I'll tweet out a
bent over
photo.
the driver's side. Right.
She'll be too busy flashing everybody.
I'm just saying, I think do you swallow? I think there's an element to sex. You tell me what you think about this
What the fuck
theory.
do I know about blowjobs?
Hold on.
I'm not 8 anymore.
There's two camps when it comes to sex, and the one camp fucks it up for the other camp. And I'll tell you why. What it is. There's the one group of guys that just want to do shit because it feels good. You know, that I think
Yeah.
that's us.
Get
That's
it
most
on.
guys. Yeah, that just it
Mandate.
feels good.
Got to get it on.
And then there's a subset of a group of guys that are like, they want to do it because it feels bad to the other person.
Yeah,
like,
I don't like
I'll
that
give you.
shit.
I'll give you an example.
Yeah, break it down.
You take who's your team?
Nice.
Giants.
Jets.
All right, Jets. Okay, Jets.
Well, obviously, I like
if Jets.
them to
If Jets.
win.
All right, no. If Jets win the Super Bowl, the Jets fans are going to go out in the street and party.
Yeah.
All right. If the Patriots win the Super Bowl, their fans are going to go out and find whatever team they beats fans, the Rams fans
How do you
or
like them apples?
or Carolina fans and make fun of them.
Look at you fucking panther.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They'd go find Giants. If the Patriots won this year and they beat the Giants, the Patriots fans wouldn't go out and celebrate. They'd go out and find Giants fans and start screaming at them.
Your mother.
Yeah. How's it feel, right? Right. That's what would happen. So there's a certain group of people who want to enjoy the come victory. That's
Right.
me.
Yeah.
I want the come ticker tape parade. I want to enjoy myself. And then there are others that get enjoyment through the displeasure of whoever they vanquished.
I want to take the parade, and me and you are on the same team here. We want the parade to end, and it's a big, super great ending. And other people want the parade to end, and then they take the parade through like the lobby and fuck up the lobby of the building.
Right.
I agree with you. I don't like the debasing. I don't like
That's the anal thing.
I don't like any of that stuff because
Facials.
I don't. What's that?
Like facials.
Yeah, how can you fucking marry somebody and give them a facial? Like, how are you going to look your fucking wife in the eye and just picture her looking like a burn victim? Like she just got out of a fucking grease fire.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, how was your day? Not too good. You came in my face like I was a fucking prostitute.
I have a detached retina.
Yeah.
I had to tell.
You treated me
I had
like
to tell the doctor my pudding exploded in the sun.
You acted like we met in Reno on the street at a pawn shop.
Yeah.
Instead of the woman that breastfed your child, you fucking scumbag.
These are the guys who want to go backdoor, and then their girlfriend, wife, whatever says,
we're in the minority.
I don't want that. And they go, oh, come on. Now they want it twice as much because, the guys that want shit twice as much because the chick says, I don't want to do that.
The most disarming thing ever is when it came up in conversation, she goes, if it really means that much to you.
Right.
And the way, not like cunty, just super matter of fact, where you're like, well, first of all, it doesn't at all.
Right.
Like if it was her thing, I guess. But the thing with me where I can't get into it at all is because it's, or like when girls go, would you let me fuck you in the ass? Like, no, and for the same reason both ways. Because at some point, and I know Drew has had this conversation ad nauseum, at some point, sex is out the window. And it is straight fucking prison domination.
Yeah.
And there's nothing sexual about it. It's like, yeah, you fucking scumbag. Look what's happening.
No.
Open it up, man.
I do.
It's a fucking hole in the ground.
How would you like it if I fucked you in the ass? I always take that deal, though. I'll go,
Sure.
When I'm done fucking you in the ass, we can certainly discuss that.
I think
when I'm in my refractory period, we can have a discussion about you growing a cock.
Yeah, I think they have to fuck me in the ass first. So then I can get back.
Yeah.
Then I'll do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
But either way, I like sex to be sex. Like, I'm not into the crazy aggressive piercings and the fucked up, mistress leather strap and, put a bit in my mouth and, crack the whip and pull. I mean, there's shit that goes on.
Yeah, I don't want people like slapping my penis and spitting on it
out there. Yeah, like I don't like all the loogie.
What are we doing here? Chip, 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 pop.
Yeah.
It's the Hutus and the Tutsis in my fucking underpants, pop.
Yeah, I don't like any of that.
Genocide in my BVDs, chap, chap.
Plus, I think I would start laughing too hard if, like, my wife yelled, "Fuck my pussy, fuck it till it turns inside out." I just start laughing.
Yeah.
So I think we're on the same page.
We are on the same page, and that's So
you ever see those old? Remember the VHS tapes? Had the old porno tapes. You'd watch the old porno tapes, and at the beginning of those tapes, they'd have those 800 numbers, like 1-800-LICK or something like that, and they'd like, call me, you want sex, like they catch it. They never put them at the end. It's always at the beginning. Because at the end, it's like, what am I doing here? This is disgusting. I have a family.
If porn had a halftime, no one would ever see the show.
Right, yeah, right. They'd never get to the. But
like Tom Petty played.
But the beginning one, it's funny. They used to do these ones where the chick would be like sucking some dude's cock, and she'd be like, "Oh, I've been missing you," and then she'd like suck the cock a little more, and she'd go like, I want you so much. Why don't you come see me? And it's like, and I'd always think to myself, well, whose cock you sucking if you miss me so much? Like, who is that guy? What's going on? What's your relationship with his cock? What do you mean you miss me and you're sucking his cock? And let me ask you another thing about porn. This is an interesting sort of Mason-Dixon line.
Well, I didn't answer the first question about porn. I think you're supposed to believe, like, I've been reduced to sucking this guy's cock. I'm so horny for you that I'm just blowing this guy until you call me and I can stop.
Oh. And you think the guy's head is always at a camera, but do you think he's waving it off like, no, don't call. Don't call. This is an awesome gig.
I don't think he has a head.
Oh, okay.
It's a headless man. And he was hired just for those commercials. I like when the lady goes,
blowing Johnny Depp?
Yeah, I don't have a head. I like when they tell you that they're new in town. Like, oh, you know what I should call her?
And lonely.
Yeah, I didn't.
Lonely.
Nobody deserves to be lonely.
No.
She probably has a bunch of cats.
Yeah. Her girlfriends are hanging out with her.
Lives near the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
With a bunch of fucking mangy Whole Foods workers.
Now, let me ask you this with porn.
Lonely
Two porn questions.
Yes, sir.
One is, I used to have roommates that thought I was weird because if I ever rented a porn, I'd have to push through the whole thing to see what the possibilities were.
Choose your spot.
And then go back and choose my spot.
I already have an answer for you. No pilot goes up with airborne Rangers unless he knows where he's going to put them down.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm
like
not
that.
taking these guys up in this airplane unless I know exactly where the boots hit the ground. I got to see the whole terrain and topography and know when I'm pulling the ripcord, Pep.
Yeah, no, exactly. They thought I was weird.
That is. Am I right in your philosophy?
I'm like, what if I beat off and then I put the thing back in and there's some chick I went to high school with that's in the next scene and I missed out. You know what I mean? Like, I'll never get that moment back.
I like how in your world...
You can't unring that cock bell. You can't unring those balls.
And why would you?
No, you wouldn't. But that's the thing. There could be someone... I'm from North Hollywood. There could be someone I went to high school with that's in the next scene that I missed out on.
All your stories, when I listen to the Adam Carolla Show podcast, which I can't emphasize enough, it should supplant your daily routine. If you watch the news every day, if you have a radio show you listen to every day, my friend, you got to listen to the Ace Man every day. I got it on my phone. I got the Ace Man app. I listen to it with my headphones driving into work. I love it, but I will say this. All your stories about growing up, not growing up, but more like when you become 16, 17, 18, about like cleaning carpets. And we had a brief conversation about this, about cleaning carpets in North Hollywood High football. To me, they sound awesome. Like you're complaining about smoking a ton of pot and cleaning carpets at Hamburger Hamlet at 1 a.m. when no one was around. I'm like, he was alone in Hamburger Hamlet. I was a fucking dishwasher at the Verona Inn.
Sounds like a very porn setup.
Yeah, it is a penthouse letter.
Yeah.
They're me and Ray were cleaning the carpets at Hamburger Hamlet. And the owner's wife came in and said, "Oh, I forgot my jacket. I'm new in town."
Get it? Jacket.
Jacket. I think she said jacket.
Well, there were a couple of perks, and cleaning a restaurant was a perk. I did have this story. Like I said, the Russian tea room was a place that used to be in the Beverly Center, and we had that account, and that was an open bar. Yeah. So I had my buddy Chris there, and he would just pour himself, just big glasses of whiskey, and but we had this, funny story. You guys ever have this happen? If you haven't, I'm sure many of your fans have, where you get that phone call from your boss, and he starts asking questions, and he knows something, but you can't say what it is, and he's not going to say what it is.
Yeah. You guys done there yet? You wrapping up?
No, this was the following morning.
Oh.
We went to the Russian tea room. I went scavenging for food, as I always say. Thanks, Big Mama. I went scavenging for food. And I walked in, and there was a walk-in refrigerator, and I walked in, and there was all these cream puffs in these boxes. I was like, dessert. Yeah. Oh, this is great. And I started eating them. And I was looking through the window because I was looking at my buddy Chris, who I knew was shit-faced. And I knew if he found him, he'd, kick the door open and start grabbing him, knocking him all over and everything. So I was like, I'm not going to tell him about this. So I ate about 8 of them and then shut the door and came back out. And he was just getting drunk at the bar. And then the next day, my boss, Art, called me and he said, Art, how'd the Russian tea room go last night? And I said, it's good. Real good, no problems. And he said, did you eat anything? I said, nah, not really.
Not really.
Not really.
Stupid answer.
We're just cleaning the carpets, you
Did
know?
you kill
and he's
your
like,
wife? Not at all.
He's like, nothing at all? No dessert or anything? I was like, no, I mean, not that I can remember, just kind of cleaning the carpets, you know.
Maybe that's why it's not there anymore, that they actually had a fucking cream puff
maybe had a
count.
Coke. And he said, no, they didn't have a cream puff count. I said, well, why? What's going on? He said, I found a case of cream puffs stuffed into the solution tank of one of the steam cleaners. Chris, drunk, went in, decided to steal a case of them, decided to smuggle it out by shoving them in the solution tank. And then when you're drunk, we were so desperate. My kids would, like I've said to my kids, you want to go get some frozen yogurt? And they've been like, nah, we're good. And I thought, oh my God,
fresh air.
I would never fucking, but he shoved the whole carton, he called a case of this, in the solution tank, but he was so shit-faced, by the time we got back to Van Nuys, dropped the van off, he'd passed out, he'd forgotten all about his plan of stealing a case
But you both missed
cream
the
puffs.
number one prize of a walk-in refrigerator. Whippets. The case of Whippets.
Oh, yeah.
The case.
Yeah.
I used to work at the Friar Tuck Inn in Cedar Grove, New Jersey, and there was like several. You could have 5 weddings at once in this huge place.
Whippets power the whipped cream container.
Yeah, and they
the
come
little
like
cartridges.
12 or 24 in a case, and you walk in with that little red. It just goes, when you run out of whipped cream, you don't throw out the bottle. You throw out the bottle, but you take that little red cap with you and just stab another one.
Right.
And I remember I was completely addicted to these Whippets, and I went to the walk-in closet, and my game was, how many can I get back before I pass out in my little tuxedo pants?
Right.
And I got up to 11. That was my record. And 11.
The cartridge.
A full can, just blasting it away. So basically, when the next waiter goes, hey, you guys want some whipped cream? I got nothing comes out. Just a running drippy dick of
By the
whipped
way,
cream.
that is the worst. The worst thing you can have if you own a store is have a bunch of kids find out that if they suck on your whipped cream canister in the back of the dairy section and then take all the propellant out of it, they can get super high and then put it back in. Like, how many
it's not
seconds?
like you see the levels go down like on a whiskey bottle. But I remember once I passed out in the walk-in. I was out for like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And then this old lady, like the world's oldest living banquet waitress, Julie Heck.
Mm-hmm.
She walked in carrying a fruit platter from like the Viennese table, and she kicks me. She goes, JJ, what are you doing in here? And I kind of just came around like a fighter, and I stood up and I looked at her thing and I go, I just wanted a grape. And I took a grape off of her thing and I walked out, and I'm like, but she was like an actual 80-year-old waitress and no one would believe her.
Yeah.
And so she's like, JJ was passed out in the freezer. And then now the race begins where I got to say things about her. I'm like, I think Julie Heck drinks when she comes to work.
Yeah.
Like, I saw her in the freezer sneaking shots, and she's on the other side of like a wedding going, I saw JJ passed out in the walk-in freezer. And they're like, okay, Julie, whatever.
We used to steal. The way we would do it, there's 2 ways we would do it. One is somebody would steal a tank from the medical supply place. Like, somebody would go to the drive behind the whatever, Cedars, whatever, hospital, bust into that cage they had back there, throw the
jail
tank.
big time for that.
Yeah, throw the tank in the back of the VW squareback, and then there'd be a party around the tank, you know. That was, there'd be a tank party, like a kegger for guys who hated brain cells. And then the other way to do it would be, are you writing this down, kids? Because I don't want to have to repeat myself.
Yeah, don't make the Ace Man repeat
You'd go to the
himself.
restaurant
Fundanything.com.
supply place and get the little cartridges.
Yeah.
And then do that into the big balloon, like the punching balloon, and then just sit there and suck that whole balloon down.
Matty Boy's like, yeah, this is fucking old news, Ace Man.
Yeah,
We're like
I
two
know.
old guys talking about rock and roll.
I know.
To the
but
guy that likes Skrillex.
Where it goes haywire, and I heard this is a true story, where the 2 guys decide to get in the cab of the pickup truck and fill it up with that.
I've done that, yes.
Yeah, that's not a shrewd move, because you need somebody standing next to Houdini's tank with a fire axe. If you're both in the tank, it's not a good plan.
You mean getting in a car and opening the valve?
Like how people kill themselves in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm saying is you need the guy with the fire axe standing outside of Houdini's tank So when you get to minute number 4, he can actually bust a glass. But if he's in the tank hanging with him, you're both
Even
going.
The cab of the car filled up with nitrous?
I mean, it was like a Toyota Tercel or something. There was 4 of us.
You
but
just
yeah,
let it
same
out.
kind of scenario.
Oh, my God.
We used to get it from like a mechanic who used to have nitrous for the cars.
My friend, I'll give it to you.
Yeah. And we'd fill it up.
Listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just bring me business friends to spare tires.
But you need one guy